I have 47 hours and 21 minutes until the start of my next market. Hi, I'm Anna. I run a small business called Miss A Crochet where I sell plushies in person and patterns online. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I am so happy you are here and joining us for this market vlog. If you are a returning subscriber, hi. How are you? Welcome back. Today is Friday, July 18th. It is 2:39 p.m. I have now 47 hours and 20 minutes until this market. Really, I need to be crocheting my butt off, but I am happy to say that of all the stuff that I have been market prepping lately, check out the videos, I have 139 new items worth a total of more than $1,500. Plus, since I've been cleaning this background, which, yes, I know it's new, there's going to be a whole video about redoing all of this and everything like that. So, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I found a bunch of old plushies that I've decided to part ways with and add to my market inventory. So, I'm very excited about that. Today's also just an exciting day. We are having some family come over, girls' night, and we are watching the Phantom of the Opera movie. One of my cousin's friends has never seen it, and we are having an entire Phantom of the Opera themed night. We're calling it musical night, even though I'm pretty sure that's probably the only movie we're gonna watch. Anyways, it's gonna be super fun. We were all going to dress up, but then I was like, okay, if my cousin's going as the Phantom, I'm like, I could probably go as the girl just because I feel like I have a sort of similar texture hair. But then I was like, oh, I don't really want to like buy a whole outfit because it's really easy to just be the Phantom if you just have the mask. But I need to be crocheting. This morning, let me grab it. This morning I finished 2 whips, one of which has been sitting around for like a month. And the other one has been sitting around for a week. This is the oldest one. This is a turtle with Bernat blanket yarn. I don't know the name and I don't know the name. I'm sorry. But this is one of my best sellers of all time. If you've been here a while, you know that I always stock up on the turtles like crazy, especially because I have the pattern completely memorized. So I love these guys. I finally finished this one. Then this morning I also finished a baby blue crab. This is a no-sew pattern by yours truly. These guys are some of my favorite makes as well, as my hands shake uncontrollably. They are really good sellers. I sometimes will try and have a sign up that says perfect for someone that's just a little crabby, and kids always get it and give it to their parents or siblings, or parents will give it to their crabby teenagers, which is always really funny. Those are 2 whips that I finished today. I should probably tell you about the market itself, right? So this is a Pride market. This is the St. Cloud Pride Summer Fun Fest. This was the market that got canceled and then rescheduled about a month ago. Check out that video here. I was very devastated, but it was rescheduled, and it appears that almost everybody is back and doing the market again. I don't think anybody went forward and got their refund or just donated the money to the Pride organizers, whatever. Yes, I did pay the $25 booth fee. That's how much the booth fee was, which is awesome compared to a lot of other booth fees that I've had to pay before, which were in the hundreds. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. I did do this event last year. Check out the video here. And it went pretty well from what I remember. I specifically remember that I had made a bunch of rainbow keychains and they didn't do very well, and I was really disappointed. So I didn't make as many this year, and I did a modification to them, which you'll probably see in this video when I'm showing you all the things I'm bringing. This market is only 3 hours, but because the booth fee is so low, I could literally sell 1 turtle and make back my booth fee plus $2. So I think it will be okay. If not, that means I just have more inventory for my next market, and I do have another market in October booked, and I'm looking at one in August if this one flops, you know, depending on how much time I have between markets and how much inventory I have left. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I'm trying to look at my paper list of inventory and look and see what other things I could make to sort of fill in some of the gaps. One of the things that I don't really love at markets is having only one of one item. So I'm looking right now and I only have 1 groovy flower. I only have 1 frog, 1 grumpy frog, one big cat and one junimo. So I'm thinking to get the biggest bang for my buck, I think I'm going to make 2 more junimos. I'm going to make a light pink and a yellow junimo. If you don't know what a junimo is a character from a very popular video game called Stardew Valley. It was made and designed by one guy, and it is an incredible game. It's like a farming simulator, but there's also a story attached to it, and it has like this little neighborhood next to your farm full of little NPCs that you can talk to and like date and marry. It can be all full of drama, but it is seriously one of my favorite video games ever. I've became super addicted to it. I've even tried teaching my parents how to play it, and they think it's really cool. So huge shout out to that game, and a shout out to the designer of this pattern. I'm going to go on and check it out. This is a free pattern from Instagram. It was actually one of my first patterns that I ever tested for somebody. So huge thank you to Chubby Pineapple Crochet for trusting me to test this pattern when I was not that good at crocheting many years ago, and for releasing this pattern for free for everybody else to use. This is seriously one of my favorite patterns, and I have modified it to make it even more. Sorry, I just saw my dad outside putting the trash away and it scared me. It is a low-sew pattern, but I modified it to make it even more low-sew. So yeah, let's start crocheting. One junimo. I don't really love the blush placement, but whatever. It's time for my least favorite part of the video, which is where I go through and show you everything that I am bringing to this market. I'm bringing a total of 166 plushies worth $2,656. We're starting different this time. We're actually starting with the Misfits. These are old and new plushies that I've decided I want to sell, or that just haven't sold and are one-offs that frankly I don't really care about. We're starting off with 3 friends from G Beans Crafty's newest book that I helped pattern test. We have a banana slug for $10. This is a, I believe, no-sew pattern. We have, I can't think of what kind of fish this is, but it's like the flatfish that I'm selling for $7. And we have a fried shrimp that I'm selling for $6. These are all things that I've made within the year that I have decided to bring to this market and sell since cleaning this room. Up next, we have this velvet peas in a pod. I used to have these in this shelf for display, and I didn't really want to get rid of them, but I think I can let go of them now, and I will be selling them for $20. And yeah, all of the peas can come out, and they each have a different face. Found this guy while cleaning, and I'm selling him for $17. I am selling my angry uterus that I crocheted when Roe v. Wade was overturned. Yes, I can talk about politics on my channel and with my business because it's a part of who I am. And to those who recommend I don't care. And if you don't agree with the overturning, or if you do, again, not my business because it's your business, but this is my business, so I'm going to talk about it. This is the angry uterus that I crocheted when the law was overturned. It doesn't really look that angry. I don't know. It looks a little more like, but I will be selling it for $35 just because it's made out of 4 or 5 pieces. I did sell a medium-sized one, and that one sold. Here we have a Cheshire cat. I just don't like the way he turned out. I'm trying to sell him for $50, which is a big ask, but he did take forever to make. I just need to find somebody who's like a really big fan of the Cheshire Cat. How many times can I talk about these guys? These are my big bobas that were one of the very first patterns I designed and sold. I'm selling them both for $45 each, which really isn't that much when you look at how much materials went into them. I'm gonna bring them, and they're probably not going to sell, but they're big items that can attract people. It's most of our one-offs. There are some other ones within this other stuff, but I'm going to pause, put these ones away, and get all my new inventory. Another old project but new to my inventory are these frogs. I pattern tested them for Crochet by Kelsey. This is the original pattern with the overalls. This is modified version I made as a fairy. I'm selling this one for $30 and this one for $32. I like to think of them as like brother and sister or something. A lot of this stuff is like cute and I would keep it. I just don't really have the space, and I know that I can recrochet all of these things and probably make them better, which is why I am okay with letting them go. Also, I'm looking to make money. These next two plushies are from a brand new pattern by Palms and Posies that I just tested yesterday. It is her Biddy whale sharks. This is the first one I made, and then she made some changes to the pattern, and this is the second one I made. As you can see, the iconic whale shark polka dots, and I'm selling them both for $10. We have two junimos. This is from Stardew Valley. I think I just crocheted this one in this video, or was it this one? It was this one. It was this one. And I'm selling them both for $20. The rest of this tubby is all swinging pets that I am now selling for $12. So I upped the price by $1. I have 8 axolotls. I have 2 teal. If I knew where the other one was, I would show it to you. Yes. I have 2 teals. They don't really want to sit nicely so that I can show you them. 2 pink. 2 orange. I have 2 gray. And then I have 4 frogs, 4 chicks, 2 mallards, and 2 penguins. The penguins, I think, are the newest ones. We have the all black and white one. I modified it so that it would look more like a baby penguin. The mallards, my favorites, of course. Always have to have one with a pink swing. The chicks, they all look the same. Chicks. These are the frogs, plus a random frog that I forgot was at the bottom of this tubby. So now I'm going to put these all back into this, and we will move on to our final and largest tubby. I also have another frog for $11 that I'm actually going to put into that old tubby because I keep mixing things up. Now on to our biggest category of plushies. We have turtles. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 baby turtles worth $170. I have a purple turtle. I believe this is when I had run out of the correct eye size, so he's a little silly looking, but we got an all purple turtle, a Sailor's Delight turtle with the correct size eyes, another Sailor's Delight turtle but with a misty green, this turtle with green variegated, this same green variegated yarn but with a lighter green body, head and fins, that same light green head and fins but a dark teal variegated shell. Then we have some more misty green turtles with a variegated shell and a solid green shell. Another turtle with that same shell color, but with cream underbelly. And I think my very favorite is this pink and misty green turtle. It doesn't read as well on camera. I really like this turtle. So that is my 10 baby turtles. Then I have many, many, many more adult turtles. This light green and purple, green, and blue shelled turtle. I also have 2 more with the same head and body color. I have this one with a, I believe it was like a dusty blue or denim was the name of the color. I have another one that actually identically matches its baby in case people want to have a pairing. I also have 4 misty green turtles. I have this one that also matches a baby. The classic misty green and taupe, I believe. Misty green and Sailor's Delight. A misty green, and I don't remember what this is. I think it's like a Midnights or something. I'm not sure. Never quote me on yarn color names. Oh, I found another baby turtle. So actually I have 11 baby turtles, my bad. I have a light green with a variegated green shell. They look really, really similar on camera, but in person you can tell the difference. I think the shells are a different color. This one seems more teal, this one seems more green, but I have 2 variegated head and fin turtles. I did not realize that I made such similar color combos. Last but not least, I have 3 cream-bellied turtles. I have this, I believe it's like a pirate one or something, another of the variegated green, and a variegated blue. I sell all of these big turtles for $27 a piece. They are for sure probably my #1 bestseller. I've brought them to every single market of mine and they do incredibly well. This is a free pattern by CJ Design. I have modified it to flow a little bit better with my tension, and I've changed the amount of stitches that you start with in order to prevent coning. But I love this pattern. It's seriously one of my favorites. I have it completely memorized and I can pretty much do it anywhere, which is why I have so many turtles. Up next, we have a new product that I have never sold before, and it is dogs. I have struggled to find a market preppable dog pattern, and I found one recently. So I made 3 little dogs. I guess I just didn't make more. I don't really know why. I made a pug because I had to. We used to have pugs. A husky whose nose I don't really like, but I'm too scared to pull it out, and a Rottweiler. And I'm selling all of these guys for $22. I sell my cats, which are a similar-ish size, only for $20 because they are no-sew, and these guys are low-sew. I could probably do 20, but I guess up next I have my cats, which I do sell for $20. This is a cat that I've had in my collection for a really long time because a part of his back like ripped open where you sew him shut, and I've been too scared to sell him, but I've decided to sell him because I've been messing with him and he isn't ripping open or anything, so I think he's fine. So I have this little cat, this Pusheen looking cat. I did not do the embroidery up at the top of the forehead, and I should have, but I'm too lazy to now. I've been told that these are not tuxedo cats, or they are, but like not all cats are tuxedo cats. Either way, we have these little guys, and I have 4 more cats that are all just different patterns, all little splotchy little socks with some of them, cats. So I have a total, I think, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cats for $20 each. I only have 1 groovy flower for this market. I really probably should have made more. It's just that all of the greens I have are Old Bernat, which hurt my hand, so I was not feeling motivated to make any, but this is one of my very favorite patterns. It is by Raven Jig Co, and it is no-sew. I sell the groovy flowers for $30 a piece. Another pattern that I wish I had made more of was this Chubby Kitty pattern. This is a low-sew pattern. Last market I had made a bunch and they all sold, but right now I only have this little guy for $32. I was wrong. I did have one more cat. This is a Siamese pattern cat, and I used Sweet Snuggles and the new to me Premier Stash Buster yarn for this one. I'm very excited to be bringing 3 shrimp. I crocheted these 3 in one of my most recent vlogs while I watched the new K-pop Demon Hunters movie, and they all turned out different because at first I was really paying attention to what I was doing, then I was kind of sucked into the movie, and then I was really sucked into the movie. So they're all different sizes, but I am selling them all for $15 a piece. Moving on, I am bringing 4 chubby otters to this market. This is a no-sew free pattern on Instagram that always does pretty well for me. I think there was only one time it didn't sell out, and that was just not the best market anyways. But I have these 4 that I'm selling for $15 each, and I kind of forgot how to do their noses, so I didn't figure it out until the very last one. I genuinely don't remember making this many of these, but these are the Flapjack Octopi by Palms and Posies. This is a no-sew pattern that it does well sometimes. I feel like octopi in amigurumi form are kind of out, but I really love the pattern, and last time it sold really well, so I made a bunch because I was in the mood too. So I sell these guys for $14. And we have a purple in the big twist blanket yarn. This pirate color, I feel like that's not the right name, but I also feel like it is the right name, I'm not sure. Another dark blue, a pastel purple, a gold, a dark teal in the same big twist, 2 variegated in Bernat, and 1 burnt orange in Bernat as well. I feel like I maybe have a couple more, but I'm not sure. I will edit them to be right after this in case I'm wrong. I knew this would happen. I called it. I knew this would happen. Here is 1 more Flapjack Octopi. Next, we have a very easy batch crochetable pattern. This is a free pattern on Instagram. I am selling these 4 opossums for $18 a piece, and it is sadly not no-sew, though I feel like some have figured out how to make it no-sew. I have not, and so I just sew on their ears. Another low-sew plushie that I'm selling for $18 as well are these 2 bunnies. I accidentally used a 6mm hook for this one and a 5mm hook for this one. So they're a little bit different sizes, but I really enjoy this pattern. It is all low sew. All you have to do is sew on the ears. We have 4 baby hammerheads. This is Palms and Posies' original Bitty Shark pattern. But she did just release that new whale shark, tiger shark, and white shark. I love Megan. She is my ocean bestie. This is one of the hammerhead sharks, another one in variegated yarn, classic gray, and the last one in teal variegated. And I sell all of these guys for $11. I sell them for $1 more than the whale shark because just doing this head takes a little bit of extra time, and honestly I kind of forgot that I was doing 11 for these and 10 for the others. Another sea creature that I sell are these crabs. This is my no-sew Krabby Crab pattern that I sell on Etsy. I charge $8 for the velvet sized crabs, and if I make one in Bernat, which would be about that one right there, I sell those ones for $10. This is one of the easiest patterns for me to batch crochet because you don't need stuffing right away. You can just do the whole thing and then finish off, and you still have enough room to add stuffing in like once you get home from being on the go. I actually crocheted the 3 red ones at my violin teacher's house party. Super easy to do. Did not have to bring or worry about any stuffing. Finishing out the aquatic theme, we have 5 axolotls. These are Sweet Snuggles axolotls, so I sell them for $15. I have a yellow one, variegated pink, orange, another variegated pink, light pink, and gray. I also have one random grumpy frog. This is a Mama Made Minis no-sew pattern, and I'm selling him for $13. Up next, one more of my market must-haves. These are Not Jaded Co.'s Stress Pets. This is a free pattern, or you can buy the pattern on their Etsy shop. I have one yellow. I don't even have room to put these anymore. One blue, a variegated blue and pink, another yellow, a dark blue, a teal bacon. I just call these ones the Easter colored ones because they're super pastel and they just give me like dyed Easter egg vibes. This one, he's kind of rusty. Maybe it's rusty, maybe it's not pirate. Bright blue, baby blue. This one that's covered in yarn fuzzies. That is blue, purple, and green. We only have 3 categories of plushies left, but 2 of those groups have over 10 plushies in them. So wish me luck. Starting off strong, we have 3 tweed chickens. I sell all of my chickens for $16 a piece. 3 more Oreo chickens. 2 fuzzy tweed chickens. 3 yellow chickens. 2 cream chickens. And 2 dark tweed chickens. Moving on to the Pride Rainbows, I have 2 keychains, 2 gay male rainbows with faces now, 1 bisexual, 1 lesbian, 4 classic rainbows, all with faces, and I am selling all of these plus the keychains for $10 a piece. Last but not least, we have our fruits and veggies. First off, we have our large fruits and veggies. I have a pineapple for $20, along with 2 sets of 2 peas in a pod for $20 a piece as well. The peas are removable. Both of them come out. I just think they're really cute. We have the medium category, which is all plushies that I'm selling for $17. We have the banana, whose peel does come up, but I can't really do it when I'm holding a bunch of other things. The strawberry, the green onion, which I just think is hilarious, 2 watermelon. Last is the smallest category, which I am selling for $13 a piece. Some of them could probably be cheaper, but I don't really want to do 4 categories of fruit pricing. I have 2 blueberries for $13 a piece, 2 carrots for $13 a piece, an orange, and a radish. That is 166 items that I am bringing to my market.
It's showtime!
It is time for the market review. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of it. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd. The market was 2 days ago on Sunday, and I think it went super well. It was a 3-hour market from 2 to 5 p.m. We left our house around, I don't know, like 10:40, got there around 11:30, had everything set up, which meant that we kind of just had an hour and 15 minutes to sit there and chill, cool off. It wasn't crazy hot, and honestly I thought it was gonna rain the whole time just based on like the way that the sky looked. It didn't rain, and it stayed really nice until the end when I got eaten alive by mosquitoes, but that's sort of to be expected. Honestly, I just think that setting up for this event was a lot easier than it was in September. In September, they have Pride Week, and I sold at a market for them, and it was at the same park, but it was way further away from the parking lot. So I think they condensed it and had us way closer to the parking lot so people could park their cars and unload everything and not have to walk, you know, through a maze of other vendors and other things like that. I think maybe just because this is their first year of doing an event in June, they didn't have as many vendors, so they could afford to have us all a little bit condensed, which was super nice because, I mean, carrying all this stuff is no easy feat. And I had invested in a panel dolly. This thing has saved my life. I love this thing. This is the first time I actually really got to use it. I used it to carry both of my 8-foot tables, and it worked perfectly on the pavement, cement, and grass. I love this thing because usually when I use these tables, it takes us 2 trips to bring them and 2 people per trip to carry these tables, unless my dad is there and he can do one. But either way, it ruins your hands. And so this panel dolly is amazing. If you are interested, I do have an affiliate link down below because it saved me. I loved it. The one thing that did really suck to carry was my tent. We had put up the tent. Well, my parents put up the tent while I then unloaded the rest of the car. And they were already having issues with the one button on the side of the tent to get the stakes up so it could be tall. And then at the end, my mom and I had huge issues with that. And when I was trying to pull the tent on its case, the wheels kept just scraping the ground instead of rolling. And so I might have to try and get a new tent case, which is unfortunate but necessary because my hands were dying after carrying that. I'm also thinking of potentially just trying the panel dolly for the tent to see how that works. It is customizable, so the width of it can be manipulated, but I don't know if it's big enough for the tent. But I might try that and do some experimenting before I have to buy a $50 tent case because I don't want to spend my money on that. So anyways, after I unloaded the car, my parents got the tent up, it was time to set up. And I think that setting up and doing all the displays and the signs is probably one of my very favorite things about doing markets. I feel like it's a place where you can really do some experiments. You can really see the human psychology and how it plays, things people grab because they're placed out and things like that. And so then throughout the market, my mom was actually going up and moving things around because she's like, oh, this needs to be out front, or this needs to be in this spot because that thing sold there. And I just love setting up. I just think that's the most fun part. And we finally got my banner to work. We had practiced doing the banner the day before my market in June. Obviously that didn't work out, but it worked out today, which I'm super excited about. We did have to use twine, and then we had to cut the twine at the end, which feels a little wasteful, but I don't have any bungee cords or anything sort of figured out that way. And so I think it might just have to sort of be a twine situation from now on. Overall, I would say there was probably 150 to 200 people attending this event, which I think is pretty good considering it is a Sunday in the summer and it's only a 3-hour event at a park, and it wasn't thankfully super hot, but it kind of did look like it was going to rain. Based on my calculations, that means that I probably sold a plushie to at least 1/3 or 1/4 of all the people at the event, which I think is incredible. If you scale that up to a 1,000 person event, that's huge as well. That's a lot of sales and things like that. So considering with the amount of guests that we had and the fact that it was a 3-hour market, if I sold to 1/3 or 1/4 of those people, I think that's really successful. One of my friends, Jenna, even made the 40-minute drive all the way up to St. Cloud to come to the event and shop around. They ended up buying 3 plushies, which I'll talk about later. Huge thank you to them for showing up. Thank you, Jenna. They've always been super supportive. They've come and seen me at the Monticello Art in the Park, which I didn't get to do this year, so huge shout out to them. Thank you. The vendors to my right were sticker designers and makers. They had some examples as well of some performing artists and drag queen stickers that they had made, which was really cool. They also just had a bunch of other stickers. And then the booth to my left was a jewelry maker. I think she was kind of about my age, and she all had like super cool, I believe it was all mostly silver jewelry that she had made. And then there were actually two other crochet vendors. So there was one next to the sticker people, and there was a person diagonally across from me, and luckily all of our styles were very different. The person next to the sticker people was very kind of darker color palette. They had like the two-headed bunnies, a lot of like dark colored frogs and mushrooms and things. I feel like very whimsical. And the person diagonally across from me was very neon, chenille yarns, I think only. And so we all had very different vibes, which I think was really good, because if we all had the same vibes and like the same patterns, then it probably wouldn't have been as good of a market for me. But it ended up being, I think, really well. I did end up talking to the lady that ran the booth next to the sticker one. She was saying that this was probably her last market that's like kind of a market. She really wants to start getting into doing cons, because a lot of the cons have more themed things and like nerdy things that she is into. And I'm like, yeah, I've tried applying for cons, and I think they'd be super great. I really do want to get in one and like go full nerd mode, doing like Stardew Valley, Studio Ghibli, some other video game things, but I think that would be super fun for her. And she was super nice. I really did enjoy talking to her a bunch, and she kept saying like, I know your name from somewhere. Like, I know Miss A Crochet, and it's not from like a vendor list, but like I know it. She's like, I think I follow you on Instagram. Or do you have a YouTube channel? I'm like, yeah, I have both. And so maybe she'll comment down below. Hi, if so. It was super nice talking to you. I'm trying to think of other things. I have a list of things to talk about. Oh my gosh, there were so many dogs there. We got to pet the most adorable like sheep dog sort of thing, sheep herding dog. It had super bright blue eyes and like little polka dots all over its butt. It was so cute. And then the whole time there was a different booth across from us that had a black and white pit bull that my mom and I were dying over. Usually my mom is like, I don't really like pit bulls, but then she spotted that dog first and was like, oh my gosh, look at that cute dog. And I was like, that's a pit bull. That's a pit bull. I really want a pit bull. There was a different dog that was kind of like a lassie dog that had a rainbow dyed tail, which was super cute. There was a different like poodle dog that had a gay bandana. I don't know why that was so difficult for me. Also a person that had a dog, and then they were wearing like the cat backpack, and they were wearing it on their chest, and the whole zipper thing was down, and so then the cat was just sitting there hanging out, and we got to pet the cat as well. It was incredible. I like spotted the cat. I'm like, there's a cat over there. Like they have a cat in their backpack. And my mom was like, really? And then they actually ended up coming to our booth. And so that was super fun. I love going to all the outdoor events and getting to see all of the different dogs and cats. I mean, everybody was super nice and super supportive. Of course, my little rainbow things, I sold one. I don't know. I thought, you know, it's a pride market. People would like that. Nope. People like them. They thought they were cute. One guy ended up coming in and asking if they were like a coin purse, and he was like, you should sew on, you know, you should make it a coin purse sort of thing. And I was like, that's really smart. But it also seems a little difficult for me to do, just because I don't really sew like with a machine that much. But he was super nice, and he was telling me all about how his mom used to crochet, or maybe it was knit, for like all of him and his siblings, and he still has a bunch of the stuff, and how much he like appreciates the work that goes into crocheting and things like that. And so that was really fun to talk to him and see that, like, you know, however many generations later from his mom is me crocheting as well. I will say that all of my bestsellers at my last market were pretty much not my bestsellers at this market. I think I sold 2 or 3 swinging pets. Here, we can look. We can go through and see everything that's sold. To start, we had a $14 sale. I sold 1 crab and 1 stress pet. Then a baby turtle sold. My next sale included a baby turtle and an axolotl. A cat sold. The banana slug by G Beans Crafty sold. I remember the person that bought it, he was super excited to get it because he had said that he's been to these markets and most people don't usually crochet like the weirder or more obscure animals. So he was loving the banana slug and the shrimps, and I think the opossums as well, but he ended up going with the banana slug. Next, I sold the baby purple turtle. I don't really know why I wrote the color. So maybe I could be wrong. I mean, the baby turtles do seem to be selling. I then sold the swinging penguin. My next sale is what I sold to Jenna. So they bought a cat, a dog, and a shrimp. Then I sold 2 octopi to a couple. I think they wanted matching ones. They had come back probably like 2 or 3 times trying to figure out which 2 things they wanted, which was super cute. Then I had a lot of single item sales. I sold a crab, a chicken, an otter, a hammerhead, and a frog, plus a big turtle. I did sell 1 big turtle, and I'm fairly certain it was my light green head and body with my purple, blue, and green shell, one of my more colorful turtles. Then I had a mom come in with her 3 kids, and she bought 2 cats and the velvet peas in a pod. Another person that had been in a couple of times that was kind of looking at things came back and bought the lesbian rainbow. That was the only one I sold. Another hammerhead sold for $11. Then 2 swinging chicks sold to 2 different people. Another one of my cats sold. A stress pet sold for $6. I then sold a chicken and a banana to 1 person. One of my swinging mallards sold for $12. And then after that, I have 3 stress pets sell right in a row. A baby turtle sold for $17. Then I had a joint purchase of the peas in a pod and a chicken for a total of $36. Another one of my crabs sold. A cat sold. Another stress pet sold. Lastly, one of my axolotls sold. I believe it was a pink one. I don't remember. That's terrible of me. And then my very last sale was a shrimp. What were my best sellers of that day? I sold 3 out of my 4 crabs for $8. I sold 4 out of my 10 baby turtles for $17. I sold 6 out of my 9 cats for $20. And I sold 6 out of my 11 stress pets for $6 each. So I would definitely say those were my best sellers. So sales wise, I made $599. But if I subtract the booth fee, which was $25, and my square fee, which was $9.57, I then made a total of $564.43 in a 3-hour market. Obviously, I didn't like sell out because I brought over $2,600 worth of plushies, but this does mean that I can go ahead and find a market in August to hopefully attend. Of course, while I was there, I was also crocheting at the same time. And I got a lot of comments from people about how I was crocheting and talking to people without looking, which was always super funny. But I did end up being really productive, I think. I made 3 large turtle shells, even though only one of them sold, whatever. I then made 6, if I can hold them all up, baby turtle shells. I did originally start making a larger turtle shell with this yarn, but it was super warped and wonky, which I had experienced before, but I ended up frogging it because I just couldn't handle dealing with that and the market and setup and all this stuff. I didn't make any other heads or fins or anything like that. I think that'll probably be a different video or live stream. Huge thank you to everybody at that market that came by, shared some kind words, or purchased something. Your guys' support is what keeps me and this small business going. And huge thank you to you guys at home for watching and supporting the channel. It means so much to me. That is really pretty much it for this market vlog. I hope that you enjoyed coming with me to this market and seeing everything that I've been crocheting and what I've been up to. If you are interested in keeping tabs with me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will hopefully be seeing you very, very soon in the next video. Bye.